Good day, YouTube. The Ravens are 3-0 and the journey to dominate the MAC is in full swing. If we take a look at recruiting, Westerman has Rockford State as his #1 school. We will continue our strong pursuit in attempting to get his commitment. If we look at James East, we are sitting at 4th and making little headway. If we can't get him to move up in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we may just cut our losses and move our NIL resources elsewhere. Our last main focus in recruiting at this moment is Antoine Dobs, who has us sitting at 1st. We can now hard sell him with aspirational goals. It's not our best grades, but gives us a chance to focus on his wants. Next week, we can try to sway him on our best grades. We'd love to get our first commit soon, but right now, we have to build our program. Let's get to the field to see if we can get to 4-0. It's week 3, but it's game 4 for the Ravens, as they prepare for a contest against the Bison at Stellantis Stadium, who are also 3-0. Who will win this battle of undefeateds?
The lights are on, and they're shining brightly, literally and figuratively on this Saturday night. What a matchup we have in store. It's still early in the season, but this is a major test for a couple of squads who've gotten out of the gate undefeated. It's the North Dakota State Bison and the Ravens. Along with David Pollock and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Holly Rowe.
North Dakota State's head coach told me before the game he has been warning his team all week about this game. Both teams undefeated to start the season, and he believes the difference will be who can execute the best. He believes that his team and his quarterback have the confidence and composure to compete well in this environment. I'll keep you posted on how well they're communicating down here on the field. Guys?
North Dakota State opens the game strong as Bison quarterback Nathan Hayes hits speedy wideout Chris Keel for 30 on the first play. A false start on 3rd and 4 would push the Bison to 3rd and 9, and defensive tackle Harrison Saturday would get his 3rd and a half sack on the year to force a punt. Lead back Jameel Morris would get the Ravens day started with a 13-yard carry. 2 plays later on a read option, Morris would get loose, shaking 2 defenders en route to a 34-yard gain. Morris would find the end zone from 7 yards out for his first touchdown of the season to put the Ravens up 7-0. Similar to the first North Dakota State possession, the Bison would hit a big play on the first play. Nathan Hayes would find running back DJ Scott out of the backfield for 33 yards. But just like their first drive, the second would stall out. On 3rd and 9, junior linebacker Cole Miller Jr. would get a tackle for a loss and force a Bison punt that would pin the Ravens inside the 5-yard line. The Ravens create a bit of space with their backs to the end zone with a 7-yard rush by Deshaun Beauchamp. On the next play, Justin Marlowe finds a crossing Titus Emmanuel who turns up the sideline for a 23-yard gain, bringing the first quarter to an end. A few plays later, it's Emmanuel again on a corner route for 29 yards. Following a rush and back-to-back incompletions, the Ravens settle for a 37-yard field goal to go up 10-0. Following a North Dakota State punt and the 2-minute warning, Marlowe would hit Noah Richmond for a 23-yard gain. On the next play, tight end Titus Emmanuel would show nice footwork, getting his foot down and picking up 18 yards on the catch. Rockford State would settle for a field goal yet again, but this one would slam off the upright and the game would head into halftime, 10-0 Ravens. Ravens would put together an impressive opening drive to start the second half. Titus Emmanuel would move the chains, picking up 12 yards. On 3rd and 10, Morris would pick up 13 to keep the drive alive. The Ravens would remain clutch. On their next 3rd and 10, Marlowe would step up in the pocket with grass, but chose to dump it off to Beauchamp, who would get free for a 20-yard gain. Then, on 3rd and 2 from the 4-yard line, Beauchamp does what he does best. He finds the end zone for his 8th rushing touchdown of the season, giving the Ravens a 17-0 lead. We jump to the middle of the fourth quarter and North Dakota State finally gets points on the scoreboard. Bison quarterback Nathan Hayes fits the ball between 2 defenders as Reese Kessel hauls in the 20-yard touchdown, cutting the lead to 10. North Dakota State would attempt an onside kick, but the Ravens would secure it. Rockford State would pick up 3 first downs and kneel on the ball to secure a 17-7 victory to stay undefeated on the season. Moving into our latest recruiting update, we are still first on Ezai Westerman's board. As for James East, we moved from 4th to 3rd to avoid being locked out. There is a lot of ground to cover, but now there is a more realistic chance of landing him. Moving to Antoine Dobs, the left tackle out of Indiana, we are going to try a star search sway to hopefully take advantage of our B- brand exposure, A+ playing time, and A+ proximity to home. If we can positively sway those, we can hard sell better fits and grades. We are still looking for our first commitment. Rockford State has won 4 in a row and would look to continue the momentum against UMass.
EA Sports College Football, just about a month into the season, and we are ready for this Week 4 clash. It's the UMass Minutemen and the Ravens. Along with David Pollock and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis. Let's go down to Holly Rowe with the latest on the weather.
Guys, this crowd is electric. He knows that there's a lot of excitement for this home game, but most importantly, the weather is clear. We were wondering how the forecast would shake out, and it is calm and beautiful. Should be an impactful game here with great weather, great opportunities, and a fast surface. Back to you.
All right, Holly.
UMass would make a few nice plays on their first drive. Quarterback William Watson III connects with Devin Matthews for 19 yards. Watson would also scramble for 6 yards, which would allow UMass to open up the scoring with a 53-yard field goal, giving the Minutemen a 3-0 lead. Rockford State would answer. On the ensuing possession, faced with a 3rd and 3, Justin Marlowe would drop back and throw it deep down the left side, hitting Jet Moore in perfect stride for the 67-yard touchdown, giving the Ravens a 7-3 lead. On the first play of the second quarter, the Minutemen faced a 3rd and 14. Reese Atkins found a way to come down with the ball for a 26-yard gain. UMass would go no huddle and Watson hits running back Justin Williams-Thomas for a big 44-yard gain. Despite all that, the Ravens would force a field goal. 26-yard field goal would make the score 7-6 Ravens. Following a big kick return by Elijah Lockridge and a play-action pass that went for 36 yards to Noah Richmond, Ravens would settle for a 47-yard field goal to go up 10-6. Justin Williams-Thomas would run up the middle for 24 yards, his longest carry of the day. On 4th and 4 from the Ravens' 29-yard line, the Minutemen would line up to attempt another field goal. Lockridge jumps off sides and gives UMass the automatic first down. On the next play, UMass would make them pay for the penalty as Watson would deliver to a wide, and I mean wide open, Reese Atkins. The 24-yard touchdown would give UMass back the lead, 13-10. The Ravens would get the ball with 1:52 left in the first half. Rockford State started the drive off with a handoff to running back Jamil Morris, who would juke his way to a 35-yard gain. Then on 3rd and 16, Marlowe had a wide open Titus Emmanuel on a dig for a 17-yard gain. 2 plays later, Emmanuel again, this time for 23 to set the Ravens up inside the 5. On the next play, touchdown machine Deshaun Beauchamp would catch the toss and score from 3 yards out, giving the Ravens a 17-13 lead that they took into the half. Rockford State would force a UMass punt to open the second half. The Ravens would convert a 3rd and 10 to get into field goal range. UMass would force a stalled out drive and the Ravens would connect on a 42-yard field goal to go up 20-13. Early in the 4th, the game would get flipped. TJ McGee would pick off Justin Marlowe and take it back for the pick 6. Lockridge would redeem himself blocking the PAT, keeping the Ravens ahead 20-19. Marlowe would bounce back from the interception, first connecting with Zarius Smith Jr. on a corner for 34. A few plays later on 3rd and 13, Marlowe connects with Richmond across the middle for 24. 3 plays later, Beauchamp gets in the end zone. Coach Kowalik, already up 7, decides to go for 2. Marlowe hits more on a slant and the Ravens go up by 9, 28-19. The Raven defense sealed the game as safety Everett Lacey hits Watson as he attempts to throw on 4th and 9. Rockford State would kneel on the ball and move to 5-0 on the year. Following the game against UMass, Rockford State had a bye week. The players were able to rest and the coaches were able to lock in on some recruiting. Not much has changed there though, as Coach Kowalik still searches for a commitment. After the Ravens bye week, they get their first commitment from Antoine Dobs, the left tackle out of West Lafayette, Indiana. The pressure continues to mount for RSU in a conquest to stay perfect as they travel to Bowling Green for a battle with the Falcons.
Welcome to Dwight L. Perry Stadium in Bowling Green, Ohio. Just about halfway through the season, and things are starting to take shape here in our coverage of EA Sports College football. It's the Ravens and the Bowling Green Falcons. Reese Davis along with David Pollock and Jesse Palmer. We'll hear from Holly Rowe in a bit down on the sideline.
On the Ravens' first drive, Heath Goodman hit a 44-yard field goal to take a 3-0 lead. And Bowling Green would answer on their first drive with a huge play. Falcon quarterback Austin Novosad throws it out left to wideout Brennan Ridley on the bubble. Ridley hit a nasty spin and took it 59 yards to the house for Bowling Green's only points of the day. Rockford State, on the other hand, would score a touchdown in each quarter of the final 3 quarters. A 2-yard rush by Morris in the second, a big hit forcing a fumble by safety Everett Lacey, and a scoop and score by Cole Miller Jr. in the third. And lastly, in the fourth, quarterback Justin Marlowe would scramble for 23 yards to find the end zone with his legs, and the Ravens came off the bye week looking fast and fresh, winning easily 24-7 to move to 6-0 on the season. In Week 7, Rockford State gets a commitment from 2-star tight end Germaine Welsh out of Country Club Hills, Illinois. The other recruiting development was 5-star safety James East locked out the Ravens. Coach Kowalik and his staff took the week to assess the board and update their targets. A conference clash as the Ohio Bobcats head to Stellantis to face the Ravens.
The lights are on, and they're shining brightly, literally and figuratively on this Saturday night. Just about to turn the corner into the back half of the season here on EA Sports College Football. It is Week 7. It's the Ohio Bobcats and the Ravens. Reese Davis, David Pollock, and Jesse Palmer with you. Holly Rowe will be keeping an eye on things on the sideline.
This classic game started the excitement right away. Early in the first, safety Kerryon Thompson sees the quarterback's eyes and breaks on the ball, picking it off and taking it 23 yards to the house for the early 7-0 lead. The Bobcats were looking to bounce back. It started with 2 big third down conversions. First, a 25-yard gain by tight end Andrew Metzger on 3rd and 13, then a 37-yard gain by wideout Max Rodarte on 3rd and 4. Ohio would settle for the 42-yard field goal to get their first points of the day, now trailing 7-3. The scoring would continue. Early in the second quarter, backup quarterback Andre McRae would hit a wide-open Morris out of the backfield for a massive 47-yard gain, setting up Morris's 1-yard touchdown on the very next play to put the Ravens up 14-3. Ohio would keep pace. Bobcat quarterback Nick Polis finds Rodarte for 22 yards. Polis then hits Victor Rosa, who makes a couple of nice moves to scamper for 15. Polis stays hot, hitting Ian Pugh for 20 before finding tight end Jake Furtney for the 5-yard touchdown, making it 14-10. Following a Rockford punt, Ohio would march down the field, and Rosa punches it in the end zone right before half to give the Bobcats their first lead of the game, 17-14. Rockford State would open the second half on offense. Marlowe would convert 3rd and 7 with a 13-yard pass to Zaria Smith Jr. 2 plays later, Morris would find a gap and pick up 17 and 19 on consecutive plays. Beauchamp gives the Ravens a 21-17 lead with the 1-yard touchdown. Ohio would answer early in the fourth. Out of full house formation, Mike Taylor Jr. would walk his way in from 8 yards out to put the Bobcats ahead 24-21. We told you this was a classic. On the ensuing kickoff, the Ravens would take back their 3rd kickoff return for a touchdown this season, as JoJo Baxter weaves his way 95 yards for his 2nd kickoff return touchdown of the year, putting the Ravens up 28-24 just seconds after the Bobcats had taken the lead. After a Bobcat punt, the Ravens would attempt to kill the clock. Ohio would force a field goal attempt. Ohio would try to ice the kicker, but Heath Goodman knocked it through from 43 yards to give Rockford State a 31-24 lead. Ohio takes over with 1:12 and no timeouts, looking for a touchdown and an extra point to tie. Palos hits Taylor Jr. for 21. The Bobcats clock the ball, then Palos hits Taylor Jr. out of the backfield for 37 to set the Bobcats up at the 11-yard line. With just 24 seconds, Paulo scrambles for the 7-yard touchdown. Ohio hit the extra point to tie the game at 31 with just 17 seconds remaining. Following the return, the Ravens had 13 seconds and 2 timeouts to work with. Marlowe hit a crossing Smith Jr. for 14 and called a timeout with 7 seconds left. Then, it happened. The Ravens caught the Bobcats in a safety blitz and Titus Emmanuel beats his man coverage. Marlowe hits him in stride and Emmanuel goes untouched for the 58-yard walk-off touchdown. The Ravens win 37-31 in an instant classic and the most exciting game in the short Rockford State history. The Ravens are an unbelievable 7-0. Can their Dream Cinderella season continue? Find out in the next episode as the Ravens continue to claim the sky.
Please subscribe to Hagen Unlimited.